Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
What is up? What is up? What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Back again in the building. It is your man, Jelani JB Bodie, and this is the Wait a Minute Show. It's a sports show. It's a sports show. We're going to talk about sports mainly, but we'll talk about, other stuff. But I'm rolling dolo today, and that's cool. Big Mo got the day off, so he'll be back next time. So don't worry, I got you. Got you. Now, before I go into anything, I appreciate y'all as always supporting your boy. Continue to do that. Continue to like, continue to share. But also, if you have not already, I need you to hit that subscribe button, right? Hit that subscribe button. Get in with your boy. So every time we put anything out like this, then you catch it. That's the only way you want to catch it live or right when it's put out. Let me just say that. So do that for me. I appreciate that. But welcome to the show. And I'm just going to tell you right now, I had a bevy of things that I was going to talk about today, and I scrapped all of that. I'm only going to talk about one thing, but it'll be multiple parts, and that is All-Star Weekend. NBA All-Star Weekend, ladies and gentlemen. So it was too much that just transpired over the weekend that I couldn't just really go and shoot through it. I had to give it the attention that it deserves and talk about it from beginning to end. So this is a special edition. This is the post-All-Star weekend in the NBA reaction, if you will, and I'm giving you my thoughts and everything that happened. So let's just go ahead and jump into it right now and not wait. And Friday was okay. It's the celebrity thing, and they do celebrity stuff, so there's not too much there to really talk about. Other than it was just crazy, Kai Cenat, and everybody knows this guy, a big time streamer guy or whatever, and I don't know if anybody else saw it, but he was trying to take a pass and it hit him like right in the face. So Kai Cenat, I don't think, basketball is necessarily his ultimate thing. Not saying that he can't play. He wasn't MVP or anything like that. But I just thought that was funny. But the celebrity thing was, what we expected to be. It's never, going to be super uber competitive and all that stuff, or drama related for the most part. So that was entertaining. I enjoyed that. Let's get to Saturday's events, right? And so I'm just going to go down kind of how everything happened chronologically, all the way up until Sunday. So the first thing was the skill challenge, right? And the skill challenge, obviously, it's a little different. It's not as, hyped up or crazy as you would say the 3-point contest or, the dunk contest, which we'll get into the dunk contest in just a moment. But it still made news, and I think it made news for the wrong reason, and that was CP3 and Wembanyama getting disqualified in the first round, basically for cheating. Maybe not cheating, but trying to bend the rules or trying to circumvent the rules. So if you've seen it or if you did not see it, is that in the skills challenge, you got to do these challenges that display your skill set. One of them is, shooting the basketball, which all of them do. They got the bright idea of, I'm just going to take the basketball, and instead of making an actual attempt, I'm just going to toss it, because it's a time-based event. So you're trying to get through as fast as possible and have the greatest time. Now, yes, it was a good thought as far as how can we win? Bad execution, though, right? If you were going to do that, because they were the very first team to go, maybe save that if you get to the finals, so that you win it. But they did it from get-go, and the league said, nah, we're not doing that. That's not how it's supposed to happen. They break out the rule book or the pamphlet. They showing it to them or why they got DQ'd. Wembanyama and Chris Paul can't believe it. And word is that they spoke with somebody, before that, and it was said that it was okay. Here's why I'm glad that they got disqualified. Not because I don't like, Wembanyama, even though he should have went to my Pistons. We should have had that number one pick, but hey, I digress. But anyway, not that I don't like what Wembanyama or Chris Paul or anything like that. To me, it was just more of what the president it would have said. You saw people start booing it. It would have been something had it went through, other than just a disqualification. It would have been some even more, and we would have been talking about it even more, and it would have been one of those mainstays that it's just like, this is the problem with the All-Star weekend, and that is a prime example. So I'm glad that they took care of that, right away, because look, you have to make some type of attempt to shoot the basketball, to make a shot on the court. Not just, we're just gonna, toss it. Because if that's the case, somebody else may do it right behind it. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we have a horrible skills challenge, because nobody else is, going to want to get beat. Everybody, you know what? They let them do it. We're going to do it, as well. We're going to figure out something else. And that's the scary part. Somebody's going to figure out something else to circumvent the rules, on it. So I'm glad that they did get the DQ. I wish it hadn't happened, because it would have been, really, really, really good to watch, Chris Paul and Wembanyama compete. But they had to do what they had to do, ladies and gentlemen. All right. 3-point competition. Surprisingly, there's no Steph. Dame was there. Buddy Hield was there. Tyler Hero won and everything. But I think with the 3-point contest as well, it's a little different these days, because back in my heyday, I'm a little aged, if you will, or vintage. How about that? But back when I was, watching it as a young pup and everything, the 3-point competition, you had, the highest rated 3 points. These were the special sharpshooters: your Dale Curry, your Tim Leglers, your Craig Hodges, your Steve Kerrs, your Larry Birds, your Reggie Millers, and all that stuff. And then you still have some other guys in there. And I just think with, everybody shooting threes these days, it just doesn't have, the same feeling. It still was entertaining. It still was good. I enjoyed it. It came down to the last shot. Actually, I think Dame had a chance of actually winning that and winning. I think he would have been a three-peat, if I remember correctly, but it just didn't happen that way. Tyler Hero did what he needed to do. Won 24-23. So that was, entertaining as well. That was good. That was good. I had really no big complaints, other than it's just uh, normally, I'm used to the 3-point specialists, right? And I don't know if you can really say that band of participants were 3-point specialists. They can shoot, but it's a difference in a 3-point specialist and a guy that can shoot, right? But whatever. Let's move on to the dunk contest, right? So we already know Mac McClung won his third 3 times, man, that he has won the dunk contest. And look, I don't even remember. I know it was a guy from the Bucks, Action Jackson, from the Bulls, and and Stephon Castle. Hopefully I'm saying his name right. Stephon or Stephen Castle. I think it's Stephon Castle on it. Stephon Castle was probably the closest person, in this competition. Mac, took it. I was thoroughly surprised that he started off the dunk contest with a car. I was even more shocked that he actually jumped over the car. So I have to give him credit for that. He jumped over the car, not the front of the hood, not the back of the trunk or anything like that, over the highest part of the car. Right. So I'm gonna talk about, why that kind of happened. The reason I say that is because I remember Blake Griffin had a Kia as well. He's like, I'm gonna jump over the car. And if I remember this story correctly, and if I'm wrong, someone correct me and put it in the comment section. Someone said, "Nah, Blake, you're not doing that, bro. You too expensive, too valuable, too much of a hot commodity. Something go wrong, we can't have that on our watch." Matt McClung, they said, "Go ahead and go out there and do it. Go ahead, bro. Go do it." Right? So he got the clearance on it, and it was an amazing dunk, right? I've seen it, before, just not in the NBA, but it was a really good dunk. And the fact that, he dunked it backwards and everything, the dude did his thing. So props to him. I think he said that he's done. He may think about it, come back a fourth time, but I think he's done, you know. But what follows that, right? Because I wanted to give Mac his props and everything, because he did what he came to do, dominate that sport or that event, and he did that. But to follow, this is what I'm like. What are we doing, ladies and gentlemen? What's going on? What the tweets start coming out. People saying, "Hey, I may get into it." Ja Morant comes out. "Oh, I may get into the dunk contest, next year." And Giannis saying, "Hey, if you do, I'll do it too." I'm not. One, I'm not going to get my hopes up. Two, I don't want to hear it. I just don't want to hear it. I just don't want to. And it's not that I wouldn't want to see. I definitely would want to see. I don't know about Giannis. He can dunk, but I mean, these type of dunks, I don't know. I just never seen that from Giannis. But Ja Morant, yes, I would love to see Ja Morant in the dunk contest. But at this point, I'm over it, because it was, before it was like a teaser. Now you're talking about a whole year in advance. Talking about, I'm gonna, show up next year and all this stuff. This is what we've been wanting. We want superstars. We want people that are high flyers. And what we've gotten, we got lucky with Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon, but we've been getting guys. No disrespect to those guys, because they go out there and try and perform and entertain us just like anyone else. But we're not getting the creme de la creme. And so that's what we've been working with. We've been rolling with it. And then all this teasing and all this stuff, nah, I'm not even going to go for that. It's just, you know what? At this point, you haven't done it. Just go ahead, let some other guys do it at this point, or we figure out something else. Now, I know they talk, people always been talking about getting rid of the dunk contest, but then Zach and Aaron shows up, and then it's like, oh, we're back, baby, So, and then Mac shows up, hey, and he saved the dunk contest. I should have said that, but I'm just tired of hearing guys, that, oh, maybe I'll do it, maybe I don't. Look, you got a whole year. Take your time. Don't say nothing. And you know what? Couple weeks, 3 weeks or something like that before the next All-Star, if you're feeling froggy, then just go ahead and jump in it. The NBA is not going to say no unless you're trying to jump over a car, Ja Morant, and they're not going to let you do it. I'm just being honest. But dunk contest, I've gotten used to it until we just get some real creme de la creme, dudes, on there. I talked about maybe getting, some internet, dunkers, the dudes that compete professionally on that. But now I'm like, I think we need to stay away from that. Let the NBA players, this is their thing. This is their forum. This is their, celebration. Let it be, about that. So I'm off the, the internet. But what I would like to see on a Saturday, and I don't know if, you can add it or if you got to replace something, but I said this on social media. Let's get a one-on-one, 1v1. Let's get a 1v1 All-Star. And I'm not talking about someone that just said, I'm going to enter, I'm the nicest, in Rucker Park. I'm the nicest, in the streets of Chicago. No, I'm talking about whoever gets selected as an All-Star, taking some of those guys, don't have to be all of them, and we get a 1v1, right? Guys always going one-on-one in practice and talking about, I do this, I'm nice with that, I'm this, that, and the third, and all that stuff. Let's see it. Let's see it. Creme de la creme. Y'all play together in the summertime, as far as like teams, but let's get that one-on-one for All-Star Weekend. So that's my, suggestion to the league. Maybe Adam Silver, will do something like that. I don't know if anybody would participate, because we know, nobody want to get crossed up on, one-on-one, but I think that would be something that fans would be interested in. And then it's a competitive, event as well. You don't have to be this high flyer, come up with all this creativity. You ball. Go out there and show it. And then you get props for that year. It's like, yo, I'm the 1v1 champ. Can't nobody hold me. And then somebody else will probably want to challenge you next year. I guess I would say maybe the champ gets to come back automatically, possibly, perhaps. I don't know. But that's just my suggestion on that. So Saturday, well, what's Saturday? But let's get to Sunday. Sunday, I talked about this in previous episode that there's a new format for the for the um for the All-Star game, right? And I was like, I'm open to it because what we got the previous years, I'm like, I'm willing to give this a chance. And I gave it a chance. And there was some good. There was definitely some good on here, but I'm still not sold on that format. I'm not saying that I want to see it again next year, but I am glad that they did it. And the reason why I'm glad that they did it is you got some guys, which was the Rising Stars and the G League. And I know people are gonna say that ain't right, Jelani, but I was rooting for the G League team because they would have messed this whole thing up in that competition. So if you don't know how it worked, you should have saw it. If you saw it, then you know how it works. You 8 guys on the team and you go and play against another eight-man team or whatever, and then it's a bracket style, like a tournament style, to someone wins and be the champ. So I was rooting for the G League team to get in there just to cause some commotion because no one wants to lose to the G League team. They don't want to lose to the Rising Stars as well. So you got some effort. And what I liked about it, let me get about what I liked about it. I did see that effort. I did see guys picking guys up early at half court, sometimes, full court. I did see guys, Wembanyama, props to Wembanyama, bro. Props to him. He was out there blocking shots, trying to chase down people, pulling up, going to the back. He was trying to win. So I applaud Wembanyama for that effort that he gave. And it kind of inspired some other guys, to step up as well. So I like that part. I still don't like, I still want, I guess I'm just old school or whatever you want to call it, traditionalist or anything. I still want to have the East versus the West or, a full roster team versus another full roster team. And if we can get back to that, if this is what it took for it to happen, then I'm all for it. Because Draymond said it. Draymond was talking about, and this is the biggest part that I'm getting to, of Sunday, was Draymond talked about how he gave it a 0. He said, this sucks, on this format, right? I wasn't going to give it a 0. I wasn't going to give it like an 8 or anything like that, but I wasn't going to give it a 0. Draymond said, look, give me a 0. 0. So I'm with him on that. There was only an additional part that needed to be on the and Draymond, that means he got to put somebody on blast, and I wouldn't expect him to do that. But I'm not trying to put anybody on blast as well, but it is what it is. I come out here all the time, and when I defend the players all the time, when they want to make a move to another city, I say, hey, if the franchise or if the organization is not doing right by them and they're not trying to win, it's in their right and their best interest to go to another team if they want to and they want to win. I've done that, so it's not like I'm one of them trollers, but I have to be fair, right? So this has happened because of the players. So of his peers, of the past 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and the way that they have played, the way they have went out there and lollygagged around. And look, I was telling a friend, I was like, I don't even think I would go if it was free. Especially paying. I'm not paying all that money for this type of product. So we're here because of that, right? So that stuff has to change. So hopefully that stuff has changed or it's on the men to change it. And these guys get back to playing some competitive basketball. It doesn't have to be arch rivals or NBA jams or anything like that. Just has to be competitive, something that we want to watch. We not want to sit here for 2-3 hours, which we're going to get on the 3 hours here in a second, to just see y'all playing around or anything like that. So I'm hoping this is what transpires from that we get back to a more competitive game, right? And if we can get a little bit more of what we got this time, maybe 25% more, I think that'll be something people will be willing to, stop criticizing them as much, or stop giving them, as flat. Somebody else that caught flat was LeBron James. I can't believe I'm saying this. LeBron James catching flat. Yeah, of course. Somebody's always going to find a reason to give LeBron some flack. But LeBron not playing in the game, and I think the biggest thing really was the last minute, him dropping out of the game. And I get why people are upset. I see it. I'm just curious because I know, just from afar that LeBron knows his body to the T, right? So I'm just interested in finding out or wanting to know, kind of like, when did he know? Was he because this is an all-star game. I'm not expecting LeBron to, because you got the rest of the season. You're trying to do some things, right? So, yeah, you're not going to risk it for an all-star game, especially in play 20 before, when you're trying to win a championship. So I'm just wondering, like, when did you know? Because that could have been an open up spot for someone else, if they could have got someone in there, quick enough, right? One of the big names that was out there was Norman Powell. So I'm just like, that is a head scratcher to me. Maybe this is calculated by LeBron, and there's some other, thing that he's trying to do, or prove. I don't know for sure. I'm not going to say that I know, this for sure or anything like that. But I just thought if you wasn't going to play, it would have been a great opportunity to give somebody else that opportunity, because chances are it would have been someone that hasn't been to the NBA All-Star or played as an All-Star. And I think that probably would have been Norman Powell. So people are going to get on LeBron and, and everything. We'll never know, what, the true reason. I do believe he, his foot and everything, but it seems like there may be a little bit something else, there to it. Could be wrong, on it. What else was in there? Oh, the game itself. Let's talk about the game itself. And I'm talking about the production, of it. Comes on at 8, it goes off at 11. I'm like, why are we doing 11 o'clock? This is ridiculous, right? So I'm going to say this real quick. It was too much. It was too much. It was too much. You need to cut out all that stuff. All the Kevin Hart had way too much time. This, I thought I was at the Grammys. I thought I was at the Oscars. I thought I was a celebration of everything except basketball, right? So along with, the game itself, it's just like, okay, it was all right, but every time we didn't need a halftime for each game, right? I don't need you to go back through the highlights or anything. This is an all-star game. I don't need all of that. So next year, whoever got it, because it was TNT's last year, condense that thing down, bro. Condense that thing down. We don't need all of that. They were doing way too much, right? So the biggest thing I hope that came from this is that we took some good from it, we learned from it, and then there's some things that we need to get away from, and we stay away from it. Don't do it anymore. But the All-Star game, it was all right. It was all right, but it's still room for improvement. So that's my view of All-Star Weekend in the NBA. Tell me what you think. Put it in the comment section. Again, like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, holler at your boy, and we'll be back next time talking about NBA and, I promise, other stuff, more stuff, but I had to talk about the NBA. So for your man, Jelani JB Bodie, 2 things as always. Stay positive and push forward. And I'll holler at y'all later. Peace.